What is up, Sooner Nation? Happy Saturday. Welcome back to the Sooner Surge Double Trouble. Big thanks to Hunter for stepping in these last several days. I was on a mission trip to Colorado. Excellent time with two of my boys. Great to be back, but it was a great time there serving the church there in Wellington, Colorado, Stonebridge Church. But good to be back, Jay. A lot of Kennedy talk on here tonight.
Yeah, that's the one everybody's waiting for, and I don't think it'll be anytime very soon on her committing anywhere. I just think that might drag out.
I do think it will be, though.
Well, you have the USA softball team she's playing on. I think the first game for that is July 4th. I'm sure they arrived there earlier than that. So I don't know, Jerm. I mean, that's the one, not just Oklahoma, but softball in general. That's the one everybody wants to know. Now, you did see Louisiana, their coach went to Texas Tech. They had like 5 or 6 players into the portal today after that. And one of them is a pitcher who actually beat Oklahoma this year, pitched 8 innings against Oklahoma. I'm not saying that's an option. I'm not saying that's an option, probably follow her coach to Tech, but I'm just saying, as far as pitchers go in the portal, there's not a whole lot out there. And you saw that Roth says hold for Dayton, just waiting. And there is a lot of rumors going around, but Rafe or Rafe, I think is how you pronounce it. Sorry about that. Those are 2 names that we've talked about as high possibilities for Oklahoma. You got 5. Now you're down to 4 you have to get. So the positions are going to have to be there somewhere. 1 or 2 pitchers, probably just 1 with what's in the portal, Jeremy.
With what's in the portal, it's likely 1. And Riley Holtorf and Abby Dayton, in my opinion, are excellent portal gets if OU can land those. 2 that we all have been kind of talking about. Monty, it's good to be back. Appreciate the prayers. I know I've seen you on the lives posting on that. So, yeah, I saw some good talk last night on that live. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, SJ to Auburn. I think for Auburn, that's great. I think she has some great upside, Jay. I'm not sure. She didn't really get a lot. She didn't get a lot of chances. She pitched well when she did get chances, but best of luck to S.J. Guerin.
I agree. Best of luck. It's just kind of too bad that it didn't work out at Oklahoma because I think maybe if she would have got some more innings last year, maybe she sticks around and they could use her this next year for sure. So I don't know. We'll see. I think that's a great landing spot for her. You also saw the big news tonight. Kinley Callahan, if I'm pronouncing it right, out of Alabama, the really good shortstop, goes to Florida. Florida, again, is looking like going to be a really good team next year.
Oh, yeah, the SEC again. SEC in baseball, football, basketball, you could say is the only sport because softball, it's the best there is. Basketball is really the only sport where OU goes down in competition.
And not by much. I mean, SEC is still really good at basketball.
It's nothing like the Big 12 was, Jay.
It's still really good. Uncle Charlie, the only word is we're just waiting around to see when.
I expect her to be a Sooner, Jay.
Here's what I would say. I would say if it's true that Patty Gasso had 3 or 4 visitors in last week, I think a handful of those commit. So if the only question is who visited. Now, I will say this. Riley Holtorf, I believe, is maybe getting married soon. I saw on her Instagram page, it looks like she's so maybe busy with that. Don't know when she's going to commit, but we'll see. I do think that would be an outstanding get for Oklahoma.
Monty, there's really no other pitchers out there currently outside the one Jay mentioned from Louisiana, the one that broke the streak for OU this year. She broke the winning streak. She snapped it.
Yeah, that's true. There's not a whole lot out there though. The ones that were out there already committed to other schools.
And so, with Lowry coming in, I mean, she's elite. We know that. I really like Kirsten Deal. I like Monticelli. They just need to get one out of the portal. You got to get a pitcher out of the portal.
I agree. You got to get one with some experience. Abby Dayton is who you're talking about. Utah. She plays outfield.
Correct.
Outfielder. Really good outfielder, by the way.
I'm high on her as well.
Rafe says Kennedy's in New York right now. So there you go. There's the answer on that. Kennedy. Hey, if you read everything you see on either Facebook, Twitter, whatever, Insta, whatever, then she's been everywhere over the last 3 days. She's been at a stoplight in Norman. She's been at a restaurant in Norman, and it's not true. That's what rumors. That's what rumors are. Yeah, Indiana Player of the Year, Lowry. Elite stuff. Elite rise ball. I mean, very elite.
Great velocity.
Power pitcher too.
Oh, yeah. Lori, you're right. It's been a while. I missed everyone on here, guys. It's great to be back on a Saturday night. Hit that like, as Lori says. Again, you guys have been doing great every night. Again, big kudos to Hunter for filling in for me.
Yeah, there it is. I don't have TikTok, so I wouldn't know, but Rafe does, and there you go. Buick dealership in Tennessee, Ron.
Ron, hey. Last I heard, Kennedy wants out of Tennessee.
Yeah, there you go, Ron. Hey, football talk, huge weekend, man. Huge barbecue weekend going on right now in Oklahoma. In Norman.
How many commits, Jay?
3. I think they get 3 after the weekend. Now, how soon after that? I think you got Jaden O'Neal 24th, which is Monday. Now, that's 2026 quarterback, which I think that's leaning Oklahoma. You got some names from this weekend. I mean, I think Lamont Rogers may be trending. The bomb Sauter Connells, yeah, and there it is. There's the rumors getting started already. What about Max Granville? That's another name maybe to watch. Omarion Robinson, the other safety, would be one to watch. Lincoln Riley will not attend the barbecue. Neither will his brisket. So
that is correct.
Out of order, weekend. Out of regardless, it's a big weekend.
Yes. It's a huge weekend, Jay, because like you guys talked about last night, BV gets the extension, which I'm glad to hear. Of course, again, in the grand scheme of things, everything is relative. You look at cost of living; it wasn't really much. You see where he's ranked in the SEC, like you guys talked about last night, and I don't want to rehash that again. But recruiting is an area where BV has been elite. You can talk about game management. His first year was poor. Last year was better. This year it should be significantly better than his first year. But recruiting is an area you cannot slack. You can't be average in. He's been great in. And things like this weekend, Jay, are big for him in this staff.
Yeah, Greg, it looked like he posted on Twitter too today. I mean, yeah, I think that's the name. Here's the question on wide receivers. How many are they going to take? Because you have Cortez Mills as an option now too that's trending. You have now Emmanuel Choice. That'd be 5 receivers, if I'm not mistaken, already in the class. If they get all those, that's a hefty class. But hey, wide receivers is always an important group. That's for sure. Wasn't OU coaching paid middle of the pack? Yeah, they're about 10th in the SEC. But here's what people also don't realize is if you remember when Brent Venables took the job at Oklahoma, he took less so the assistants could get more so he could bring in a better staff. So there's that too. His assistants are getting paid really good. So
I agree. Hey, the bomb, Eric. Yeah, I agree with you that this is about the trenches in the end. I love skill players. OU has been dominant getting skill players. We see what's happened as a result. They haven't won championships outside of Big 12 titles. O-line and D-line is where it is at. You have the defensive line last year, along with the offensive line. It's a great class. You got to keep stacking those classes in the trenches, in my opinion. Andre Woolfolk, Aaron Colvin were recruited as receivers. Just saying. That's actually right. Yeah, and Topher says 3. Lock.
So he's saying 3 as well. Let's see.
Hey,
Craig.
Quick thing. Craig from ATL. Eric in the Discord today, or I think it was yesterday, Jay. If you're not on the Discord, you got to get on it because we have great bantering and conversation. Someone asked me, I believe it was Eric, asked if I think OU wins a ship in the next 5 years. And my answer was absolutely yes, I do. I think OU is a national championship team within these next 5 years. Would you agree with that, Jay? In the next 5 years. Craig, do you think? It looks like you're saying in his era.
In the next 5 years.
I think if they don't, he's likely gone. So I think they're going to get one. Is that Ron says you're an OU fan, but not so much of a BV fan at all? Is that wrong? I mean, you can have your own opinion. To you is yours. But what have you seen that you do not like outside of the close calls, the games that they've lost at the wire? Yeah, it's been disappointing. But usually teams that lose those close games, as they continue to build depth, as they continue to get, that guy, the it guy at certain positions, aka quarterback, those things usually correct themselves and those teams win in the long run. So I like everything I've seen from BV in that sense.
If Greg God, you're right. Here's the thing. OU does have high expectations. It's the University of Oklahoma. Football programs always had high expectations. And I think 5 years, if you don't win one in 5 years, you're looking at 30 years since their last championship. Like 30 years. That's a long time. What was I
I mean, if you're comparing, if the comparison is OU is BV versus Lincoln, then I think most people.
I'm kind of done with comparing Lincoln Riley and Brent Venables.
I was just going off the comment here, Jay.
No, I understand, but I'm kind of done with that. I just think.
What do you think about Jason's comment, Jay? You know much on him?
Not a whole lot, but he seems to think that he's going to blow up, and there's always guys like that. So I don't know a whole lot, so I'd have to look it up before I comment on it. But
until some of these guys play this next year in high school, there's several guys I think even that OU's got committed that their rating is going to go up significantly.
Yeah, and you're sitting at 16 commits right now. Hey, Jason, I'm going to check it right when I get off the live tonight, actually. So thanks for bringing the name up. I'll check it out as soon as I get off this. Hey, 16 commits right now. We've talked about it, 23 to 25. How many are they going to get this year? I do think with wide receivers, I mean, 5's a lot, but you did see offensive line. Somebody mentioned, Bavaloa was there in town for a visit. You had Fasusi last weekend. Fasusi is in Texas. Looked like he was in a car with Steve Sarkisian today from his Twitter video. So he's in Texas this weekend. Here's the thing. Offensive line, you have to land one of those 5-star. I think one. If you could somehow get 2, it would be huge. But you got to get 1. Greg, Greg, did I hear that right though? I just want to make sure I heard it right. That she has a wedding coming up. So it sounds like you agree that she does.
You also have NIL deals that can maybe help financially. There's also maybe the decision needs to be made before that. She would like to know. I mean, there's Dayton, Jay. I like Dayton a lot.
Outfielder, Rafe. Outfielder.
I think she could take over for Jada Coleman. But you also have Cheney Helton coming in there. You also have Maya Bland, who plays outfield.
And Chester. Here's the thing. With Brent Venables' commitment policy, say you get 3 from this, which is what I'm leaning. 3 from the barbecue, maybe 4 if you count Jaden O'Neal, but he's 2026. Say you get 3 for the 2025 class. That puts you at 19. That means you're only looking at 4 or 5 more guys for the rest of the year and I think all those guys, I think they'll have most of their class committed by first game. I really do. The few that I say maybe not is a guy like maybe Fasusi. I don't know how long that drags out and all that. So,
hey, really good point here by Sooner Cowboys.
Yeah.
OU needs to get back to winning on the road. Again, I'm going to say this. I'm not here to say this to put people down. In the past few years, you win road games, in my opinion, with elite quarterback play and outstanding defensive stops. And coaching's a part of that, critical play calls, things like that. I think, I'm going to go back in that order, Jay. The it factor at quarterback, I think they got it, and Jackson Arnold to make those big plays. The defense, I think they got it. And then critical, crucial play calling, we'll see on Seth Luttrell. I'm excited about Seth Luttrell.
Hey, interesting comment here by Fanstop. It will be interesting to see how much BV improves as a head coach if he indeed hands over the defense. Here's the thing. If he does hand it over to Allie, and listen, it's not like he has to hand it all over and won't have a say in it. He can hand it over and he can veto calls if he still wants to. But every little piece of it that he was doing in the last few years, I think has to be handed over. And I think by doing that, I think it will improve his in-game coaching and it will improve the close games. And that's the thing is you go back to Lincoln Riley. One of the biggest complaints was they're never going to play defense. He doesn't focus on defense. He's always calling plays. He doesn't care what the defense is doing on the sidelines. That's why it's so important for a coach to be able to not be in a defensive huddle all the time. Get out with your offense. Get with the defense. Be on both sides. Be a true head coach, manager of all of it. Still have the main call. If you want to veto any call out there, you can do it. But I do think it will make a impression this year. I really do, having Zach Allen there.
Look, someone said he's not given control over it. Well, he is, and I'll tell you why I know he is. First off, Ted Roof's gone. I think that was BV's decision, and part of it was because he knew it was a self-reflection. Hey, I've got to be better in game. I've got to be better at game management. I can't if I'm totally focused on the defense. So I do think he has relinquished some of that control. And we'll see what Zach Alley does. That's a good point, Fanstop. Speaking of Fanstop, Jay, I am wearing my four-piece shirt from the Fanstop. Nice. It is absolutely fire and legit. Again, so good quality with the Fanstop shirts. You got to check out the links in the description for the four-piece, the gray and the red national championship officially licensed softball shirt. You just have to check that out. Also, look at getting on the Shirt of the Month Club. You can use code SURGE for 10% off your first 3 months. It's getting time for football season. But before that, check out the national championship officially licensed shirts. Had to throw that in there. A great point by Fanstop. Thanks, Braden. It's great to be back. Jackson's also back. It looks like he says he's back from church camp.
Welcome back, Jackson.
Someone on here said the defense top 3 in the SEC. If OU's defense is top 3 in the SEC, I would say there's a 95% chance in the playoff.
Here's the thing. I'm kind of with you, but still, even being a top 3 defense, I think you're going to have one-score games that are going to be very tight and very pivotal. And it's just so hard.
Quarterback play, Jay.
What's that?
Quarterback play. Big play.
And that's why I'm still a little bit, I got to wait. I haven't seen it.
But I know I'm opposite you. That's why I'm actually more excited. Big-time players make big-time plays.
Oh, Jeremy, I get it. But
ask your question right now, Jay. It's a great time for your question.
My question?
You posed a question to me earlier. This is a great time for it.
But before I do, though, how can you sit here right now and say that you know for a fact that Jackson Arnold will be?
You lagged there for a second, Jay. I think you're frozen, Jay.
No, I'm not frozen.
I think you're frozen, Jay. Okay, well, you lagged. Jay, I'm not saying for a fact. I'm saying I like Jackson Arnold's big playability, big-time moments better than Dylan Gabriel's. All I'm saying.
I like Jackson Arnold, too. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think that's where a lot of the holdup is from National is they don't have an experienced quarterback. Right?
And Jay, pose your question here.
All right.
Pose your question here, Jay.
The question was all over Twitter, and it started with an Ole Miss fan, I think, that started it, and then it went to SEC fans, but I'm going to pose it just as OU. And here it is. You're on the 3-yard line. Last play of the game, you need a touchdown. Who's getting the ball if you're an Oklahoma fan? History of Oklahoma, the whole history of Oklahoma football. Who is it? Is it in Baker Mayfield?
It's Baker.
Tyler Curry? Who is it?
It's Baker Mayfield. It's Baker Mayfield for me, Jay. Someone asked, Jimmy said, will Sawchuk be a 1,000-yard rusher? If he is the number one guy and he's he's getting the majority of the carries, he absolutely will be a 1,000-yard rusher, in my opinion. Based on last year's numbers, he would be. But
Depends on the
again,
offensive line. Depends on the offensive
but
line.
again, they may go 2 guys or 3 guys. They may split carries more. I don't know.
Good. If healthy, Chester thinks he gets 1,400. Mess
That's a
knows
lot.
for a fact.
That's a lot. I would go more 1,000 to 1,150. Sooner Cowboys thinks Barnes, but listen, Barnes didn't play in the spring game hardly. Did he even play any in the spring game? I don't know. Until I see Barnes, I won't believe Barnes.
Yeah, there's going to be somebody else if it's not Barnes. It's going to be Hicks or Franklin. Got to be somebody, right?
Correct.
Hey, Dave. Appreciate it, Dave. Thanks so much for the super. Really do appreciate that.
Hey, Corinna says, you think that softball could grab Wyckoff for outfield? I don't think OU softball is getting Wyckoff, Corinna. I think that kind of ship, I don't know. I don't expect it with the portal pickup yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not just saying quarterback. It was any player. Here's the problem with AD, though. I think a lot of people would say AD. It's just depends if it's one play from the 3. I think most teams think you're not going to run the ball, or they're going to stack it against the run and make you throw. So I don't know. I would rather get a quarterback out on the edge and see what they can do, run or throw. But
Chester, have a great night. Appreciate all you do for supporting our channel. Craig, in my opinion, Deion Burks isn't playing first game. I mean, that's my opinion.
You think he's suspended 1 game or 2?
I think he'll be suspended a game.
Do you?
My opinion. I mean, I don't know anything.
Possibly.
There's a lot of places, Tennessee. There's a lot of places Wyckoff could go.
Oh yeah, a lot of places. And Ron says he'd be surprised if Emerling is starting by midseason. You think one of the freshmen takes over, huh?
Hicks or Zakay. I mean, that's the only other options.
Yeah, I mean, those are your options. That's right. So we'll see. How much of the catch of those also, if you were to get Kennedy pitching to a true freshman behind the plate?
Right. I mean, we'll see on Kennedy. I need to see some more. I think the decision will be quicker than most, though. I think if Kennedy makes a decision, it's going to be in the next 48 hours. That's me personally. I know you think longer, but there's Mez's 12-0 comment. How to put it up there, his nightly comment.
Yeah. Well, I was going to get to one of these comments. I missed it here. Let me see if I can find it.
I don't know, Jay.
Sorry, can't find it.
Corinna, in my opinion, Abby Dayton, Riley Holtorf are 2 names, and then maybe Kennedy. That's the 3 names right now you got to look at. The pitcher out of Louisiana, I don't know if OU's going to go after unless they know they can't get Kennedy because they got to get another pitcher. They're not going to roll into the season with 3 pitchers.
I wouldn't think
Ella
so.
Parker did pitch in high school, Jay.
Well, and 2 of those pitchers have hardly any experience in. I mean, this last year when you look at Monticelli, she didn't pitch a ton of innings. So, and
I like Monticelli a lot.
I do too, but she didn't pitch a lot of innings. What I'm saying.
Ron, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. It's absolutely the right place to go.
Jeremy, Jeremy, let me say this right here. I'm gonna say I'm leaning more towards Ron on this than
I know you are, and you did this year, and OU won 4 straight.
No, I didn't this year. What are you talking about? I didn't do that this year.
There are times this year you said, "Yeah, OU's not the favorite." They absolutely were the favorite.
Jeremy, this is everything. It's because you have rose-colored glasses on.
No, it's not. Jay, you said Texas was the better team this year in softball. You're wrong.
Jeremy, they were dominating throughout the season.
I don't care. We know who the favorite team was and who had the best players.
Who did I pick to win it all in the World Series, Jeremy?
OU, but who had the best players, Jay? It's OU. Who has the best coach?
Jeremy, I don't care, but I'm telling you right now, national media. If
Texas was not the favorite, dude. Ron, you're wrong.
Jeremy,
you're wrong, Ron. They weren't the favorite, man.
They were nationally.
No, they were not, Jay.
They were ranked 1. OU was 2.
What was Vegas's line, Jay?
Jeremy, I don't know. They were ranked 1. OU was 2 is all I know.
Going into the College World Series, almost everyone knew OU was going to win that series.
I don't know if everybody, but I think a lot of people in the World Series.
Even Texas knew OU was going to win that series.
Well, yeah.
Mike White knew OU was going to win that series. Come on.
Well, without Jada, they may not have got there against Florida, so that was a big.
Agreed, Jay.
Mark says OU was a betting favorite before the World Series, but here's what I'm saying, though. Here's all Ron is saying, too, is with the young team they got coming in.
Agreed.
Okay, let me ask you this right now, straight up. Better chance of winning the Natty next year in softball, Jeremy. Answer this question. Kennedy at Texas, Kennedy at Florida, or Kennedy at Oklahoma?
All of the above. If Kennedy goes anywhere, they're probably the one.
Out of those three, which one? Which one would have the heavier favorites out of those 3 teams?
Wherever Kennedy goes is the favorite, Jay.
Jeremy,
it doesn't matter.
Question.
I mean,
listen to the question.
Hey, Texas would have the best all-around team at that point if Kennedy goes there.
So wait, so you just answered Ron's question and agreed with it.
Tone Loc, you're right. All of the above. Exactly. Thank you.
So you agree with Ron because Ron said, you wouldn't be the favorite this year. So you agreed with it.
If Kennedy is there, they're the favorite, Jay.
No, you said Texas would be.
If Kennedy went to OU's the favorite, Jay. What is your argument?
My argument is if she went to Texas, the chances of her winning are better than if she went in Oklahoma. You just said it.
I don't know what you're trying to argue.
Whatever.
If she goes to OU, OU's the favorite. OU is the favorite if Kennedy goes there until they get beat. And they were the favorite against Texas in the Women's College World Series. They were. I don't know why people are saying they weren't the favorite.
I didn't say they weren't in the World Series, Jeremy. I said they weren't ranked. Texas was 1, OU was 2.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Rankings. That's what the rankings were.
Yeah.
I'll believe Mike White can win a Natty when he wins one, Jay.
Well, I don't know if he can win one. We'll see. We'll see,
Jeremy. And I agree, Keaton. OU needs to prepare for more losses, but I'm going to always trust in Gasso that they're going to be there in the end.
Here's the thing, though. And next year, I would say they will have more losses throughout the year. But here's the thing. When they get to the regionals and super regionals and World Series, that's when OU steps up the most, I think, next year. But here's the thing. You have to we were talking about this with the portal. At some point, too, though, these players coming in that are freshmen also have to play and get experience. So, yeah, you can get portal players, but you also have to put these players out there to get experience because at some point they are going to be Oklahoma.
Parody's getting better, Jay.
Counting out Gasso. I'm just thinking if you guys are sitting here right now thinking if Kennedy went to Texas with Tegan Caban or she went to Florida with I can't pronounce it, Rothrock in that lineup, you don't think those teams would be favored? You're kidding yourself.
Zayden, the trip was great. Great mission trip there in Colorado. I've been to Colorado twice now since May, and it's always great weather. And the trip was great. Love serving there with Stonebridge Church. It was fun. Thanks for being on here. And Braden Warner, I'm back. Well, glad you're on here as well. Ron says Alabama claims the 2024 title in softball.
I don't think so. Richard says, you could beat Texas with Kennedy. That would be, with Kennedy and Tegan Caban, that would be a high task.
Yeah, that would be hard. I agree that's hard. And Mark, I think you're right on in the fact that OU's not going to be ranked 1 next year. I'm not saying OU's going to be ranked 1. OU lost a lot of people. I'm just saying in the end, at the end of the season, they're going to probably be playing really, really well. Happy birthday, Colin. 21st. Be safe.
Tone Loc says, no way. What is that in regards to? I'm trying to keep up with the comments here.
It's probably about either OU beating Kennedy and Texas or Texas being ranked ahead of OU. OU will be in the top 10, absolutely. Absolutely will be.
Keaton, here's the thing. Whoever lands Kennedy is almost a lock because she did it at Stanford with no offense. They were in the World Series quarterfinals.
That's what I
no
said
offense.
with OU, Jay.
What?
That's what I said about OU.
I agree. No way Alabama winning it all.
If
Kennedy
goes to OU, they're the favorite.
I agree. Who said they weren't?
Thank you.
Who said they weren't?
I don't know. You did earlier when I said that.
You always,
anyway,
every argument we have, you take it and change it to fit your argument. That's not what I said at all. Go back and listen. It's not what I said.
Well, look, excuse me. I've been on the road all day, so maybe I misheard you. We'll be 1 or 2 if you get Kennedy.
1 or 2. Whoever gets Kennedy, be 1 or 2.
Absolutely.
I mean, she's that good.
Absolutely, Jay. Absolutely.
Wait, let me ask you this question. If OU If OU didn't get Kelly Maxwell last year, did they win a championship?
Doubtful, but I'm not going to say for sure they don't.
Because if you're basing off that, then this year, if they don't add a really good pitcher, are you picking them to win it?
I said I'm not saying they wouldn't have won it because maybe Monticelli's really good.
But if they don't get Kennedy,
they might have pitched better. I don't know.
If they don't get Kennedy, are you picking them to win it in 2025?
Oh, I'm going to pick OU to win it until they lose, Jay.
Well, they are the champs until they lose.
I told you that last year. They won 4 straight. I'm not going to pick against them.
Hey, Big Bad Brat 100. Audrey Lowry's going to be great. She's outstanding. Go watch her tape. It's unbelievable. Strikeout pitcher like galore. I mean, she struck out, I think, one game, or maybe it was a doubleheader throughout a day. She had like some 30, 40 strikeouts. I mean, it was a crazy number. She is a power pitcher.
Keaton, I would say that the expectation of OU, where they are as a program winning a national championship every year, I think that actually entices more because you want to be in that game. Kennedy wants to be in the title in the Women's College World Series Championship Series, period. End of story. Whether that means the expectations are really, really high and on her, I think that's what she wants. And listen, there are 3 or 4 teams she could go to be in that series. Jay's named 2 of them, actually 3 of them with OU. OU, Texas, and Florida, in my opinion, are the 3. And I'm going to throw another one in there, Jay, for you. I'm going to throw another one in there for you. You ready?
Texas A&M.
OSU. No, OSU.
Texas A&M.
No, I'm not there yet. OSU is the 4th. If Kennedy were to go to OSU, they would be really good.
Jordy's just injured.
They're already really good.
What about Nebraska? Hey, Jordy's just injured. We'll see what she does this year. Duke is another name Ron says.
Duke's one.
Breaking LTV Duke. That could be a name. Hey, there's a lot of teams out there that, of course, want Kennedy. So we'll see.
Jay, little 2-minute thing here to talk OU. I'll let you answer this question about Isabella from North Carolina.
Isabella.
And then I want to ask one question about OU's football defense.
All right. Dave, Isabella, really good hitter. 14 home runs last year. Power, got really good power. Experienced catcher, played in almost all, I think, but 4 games in her first 2 years at North Carolina. Played against good competition when you look at Clemson, Florida State in that conference. I'll say this. I think she's really good defensively, but she's not Kinsey Hansen defensively. I mean, who is? So that's it. Mark says, yeah, we talked softball. Get over it.
Yeah, we're talking softball because the majority of the comments are softball. And Jay, let me ask you a question about OU's defense in football.
Hey, Bobby, you know what, though? If y'all want to talk recruiting, talk it. No, we're not stopping anybody from talking in the chat. We're just going with what the comments are. So I'm fine talking.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
You're lagging like crazy there, Jay. Jay, let me ask you a question. Can you hear me, Jay?
Yeah.
I don't know where Jay is, but it's a football and softball school, Eric. Football and softball school. Somehow we're lagging. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Not really. Join back on, Jay, because I got to address some of these comments. Can everyone in the chat hear me, or is it Jason that's lagging? Oh, you can hear us both. Listen, to say OU is a softball school, you're right, and a football school. You can't just say it's one. Everyone knows it's a football school. No one's denying that. It's also a softball school. Okay. So whatever. If you guys want to, if you want to whine about OU being a softball school, you're kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. They've won 4 straight national championships. But Jay, the question I was going to ask you here about OU football is: do you think OU's defense, total defense, scoring points per game, will be 20 or below?
No. Ranked 20 or how many points they allow?
Well, they allow less than 20 a game average.
That's a number.
I'm saying yes, they allow less than 20.
I mean, I think they could for sure. So, hey, let me address something too. I'm seeing the comments about it's over. It's officially a softball school. Guys, the biggest softball player in the nation is in the portal. Of course, people are wanting to talk about it. And also recruiting. I was talking about it at the beginning of the show, and then it kind of went dull. Nobody was commenting. So, hey, I'm fine talking whatever you want to talk about. It doesn't bother me at all. I can talk whatever. We want to talk NBA, I can talk. I'd rather not. If we want to talk golf, I can talk. I'd rather not. But, hey, football. Hey, Eric,
Jay,
we can talk football as far as recruiting because this could be the 3rd straight year OU's.
Hey, Eric, you're actually wrong. Hey, Eric, nobody cares about softball? That's a horrible take. That's a horrible take. I'm just saying.
Hey, Bobby, wait, real quick, Bobby,
yes.
Are you saying they need to get rid of softball? That comment looks like you say they need to get rid of softball and donate it to football. Is that what that comment is? You're saying do away with the softball.
That's what it seems like. Hey,
because they're losing money?
Hey, Jay, do you think OU holds opponents to less than 20?
I don't know, but I would say right around 20 probably. Right around 20. That's what I would say. But
if they hold teams under 20 as an average, are they in the playoff? I say yes.
I think so too. I agree. And we're not talking baseball for sure. That's 100% sure on here. Hey, here's the deal recruiting wise. I mean, I can go a little bit longer here and talk some recruiting. I don't have a problem doing it. But Oklahoma has to close out this 2025 class really strong. They can't, I don't think they can. Eric, we talked about it in the Discord today. I don't think after last 2 seasons with Brent Venables and where they've been in the recruiting rank, I think they're 8th right now in 247. I think they need to get up there closer to 5. I don't think you can finish slowly and end up around 10 or 11. I don't. I think you got to finish closer to the top 5. And that's going to mean you need to sign a couple of these big offensive linemen, I think. Fasusi, Lamont Rogers, Babaloa. You're not getting Haywood. I think out of those 3, if you could get 2, it'd be amazing. But you got to for sure get 1. But 2, I think you really kind of need.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And listen, look,
they have 3 catchers. Corinna, they have 3 catchers right now, counting the portal in. Do you know what they held teams to last year, Jeremy?
Wasn't it like 25 a game or 22 a game?
I don't know, Jeremy. You asked the question, so I don't know. But who's the 3 catchers? All right, you got 2 incoming freshmen, Corey Hicks and Riley Zakay, and then you got Isabella entering from the portal. That's 3.
Jay, maybe Hunter can say what the point total was.
Hey, Bobby, here's a question. Here's an interesting question. It's Lamont Rogers and nobody can afford 2. Why is the OU donating more money then for NIL? fans need to donate more money, right? Need to get the fans on there and donate more.
Yeah, I mean, that money's coming from fans until that changes, Jay. And listen, again, Jay,
They need to win
I'm
2
waiting.
offenses.
23. Jason said 23.46 last year. So why would you not think they can go under 20, Chuck?
Well,
in my opinion, the SEC offenses are pretty equivalent to some of the teams.
Here's the deal: if you hold them to under 20, those games you lost that are really close games, you probably win. That's the difference.
And likely they're not going to go as fast paced. So Chuck, going down from 23 to 20, I think is feasible. Would you agree? It's feasible.
It's feasible.
It's not a stretch. It's not like a big leap.
It's feasible. I also don't think. I mean, you look at who's the best quarterback they're going to play this year.
Who's the best quarterback they're going to play this year? Jackson Dart's going to be up. It's probably going to be yours, Jay.
Yeah, I don't think Dart's.
They played him last year.
I don't think Dart's the best quarterback.
I get that the SEC is a different beast, Chuck. I get it. I'm talking about offensively. It's not like they're playing teams that are all scoring 60 or 70 points. Milrow's pretty good. I'm not sold on Milrow as a thrower yet. That's just me.
But you're sold on Ewers, you think? Or
as a thrower, Ewers is a better thrower than Milrow. Absolutely, Jay.
I think if you look at the games right now, who they play, I think I would have Ewers ranked probably the best quarterback, followed slightly by Milrow. That would be my 2. I do think the guy at Tennessee is very talented. I just think he's too young.
Look, I think if we're going by offenses, I'm not sold on Jackson Dart, but Ole Miss's offense is going to be one of the better offenses they face.
But hey, the thing about Milrow that's concerning to me this year too, and it's same a little bit with Jackson Arnold, is new offense.
And Milrow's been in that system a while, though, Jay. Although I will say DeBoer's offense is usually really, really good.
Yeah, fair. But listen.
Right. Hey, and that's what I'm saying. If there's and you're conceding there, Eric, by saying that they've caught up to the Big 12, that they're actually better now. You're not saying they're way better. OU's defense should be better. The competition may be slightly better. I think 20 and under is a good goal.
I think it's a good goal. We'll see what they can do it. I mean, if you hold there, if OU doesn't score 20 points in some of those games, they should win. They should go 9-3 if they're holding them under 20 points for sure.
Absolutely. And hey, I know it's about time to get off here, Jay. We've actually went about 13 minutes long. Hey, it's getting close to football season, Jay, and we know what happens during football season.
Do you know
hour-long nightlies.
Do you know how many Saturdays till we get football?
What are there, like?
9.
9, yeah. 9.
That's single digits. So.
And we'll get closer to an hour as we get closer to football season. But I appreciate everyone being on here. I appreciate all the comments about saying you missed me. It's good to be back with everyone. Make sure you check out the FanStop, fanstop.com. Also, links in the description for that. Also, if you're not subscribed to our channel, do that. Share about our channel. We appreciate all you guys that like and comment, guys and gals that are on there every single night. Appreciate you all as always. Till tomorrow, Boomer.